Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DFS experience for Friday, November 4th. We got a whopping 12 game slate. It's going to be slate of the year. I tell you this right now. I don't know if that means something good or something bad, but I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to be very honest with you. If you think you're going to play this slate and put down your phone or your computer at lock and then go about your business on Friday night, you're wrong. If you play this slate and you're not being attentive, to what's happening, you're gonna lose because this slate is all about pivots, pivoting. There's a lot of injuries. Half the league is out. Look, half the league is hurt. The other half is sick. You know what I'm saying? So right now it's a free for all. If you're paying attention, you know, after the first game locks, before the next game starts, and so on and so on. If you're paying attention and you're making moves and you're pivoting and you're leaving yourself room to maneuver for the later games, then you have a chance at winning. If you think you made your final lineup before that first game, you lose. I'm telling you that right now. FanDuel scores are going to be north of 400, probably the 450s, 440s. DraftKings scores are going to be in the 300s. I'm telling you, it's going to be one of those slates. So if you're not going to be paying attention 100%, don't play because you'll just be donating money to DraftKings or FanDuel or whatever it is you guys play on. You understand what I'm saying? All right. With all that being said, we're gonna get going. We're gonna start with DraftKings. We're gonna start with Luca. Listen, there will be value. Play Luca. Nothing more to say. Same thing with Ja. It should be an up tempo game against Charlotte. Fire him up. Steph Curry coming off of another loss. Listen, the team is a little bit not what they used to be. I don't want to disrespect them and call them washed or anything like that, but Draymond's a little bit washed. Clay had a good game. They still lost. Clay and Curry had a good game. They still lost. So you could probably go right back to them and they'll be lower owned. Um, yeah, Curry's in play 9,700. Fire him up. Donovan Mitchell, Cleveland 9,300. Believe it or not, he's still in play. Dynamic duo, him and Garland. Um, you love Garland if Mitchell is out, and you love Mitchell if what did I just say? Okay, you like Mitchell if Garland is out, and you like Garland if Mitchell is out, and if both of them are out, you like Levert. That's how that goes. All right, Booker's in play, 8,900. I like Booker because he's in the later games. He's 8,900, and playing Booker, you have the ability to swap, throughout the night because he's in the later game. McCollum, 8,500. No Brandon Ingram. CJ McCollum doesn't excite me on a fantasy level. I'd rather play Halliburton. If you want to play CJ McCollum, guess what? I've at it. I like Halliburton. I like his upside. Should be in a close game with Miami. Indiana are not bums. Miami's not that great themselves. They won't be washing Indiana off the court. I like for a nice, tight, close game. A little bit of back and forth between Halliburton and Hero. That's what I'm looking for. Um, you know, and the rest of the pieces we'll get to. Bradley Beal against Brooklyn. Bradley Beal against Brooklyn. The first video I made this season, the first video I made for this NBA season, I said that the Brooklyn Nets were ass. I know some of y'all was like, "Oh, he's a hater." Well, we're the Brooklyn Nets now. Like I said before, the Brooklyn Nets are the worst team in the league in more ways than one. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa! Don't get upset. Don't get upset. I'm talking about from a fantasy level. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nobody. If you take outside of KD, who's going to give us fantasy points now? Because there's no Kyrie. Because Kyrie's suspended indefinitely. Kyrie will probably never be on that team again. Kyrie will probably never be in the league again. The Brooklyn Nets want to hire a coach that is suspended from the team that he was on before. Now that's not on my. I don't. That has nothing to do with me. I don't care. But I'm just saying the Brooklyn Nets are the worst team in the league. Undisputed. They're the undisputed champs. They're the undisputed heavyweight champs of being the worst team in the league in every way possible. With all that being said, Washington is probably still going to be a close game. But if you think it's going to be a close game with Washington and Brooklyn, that means that Kevin Durant is playing like Jesus Christ. So if you play somebody from Washington, run it back with Durant, because there's no way they even stay close. There's no way they even stay close without Durant having 50 real life points. And if they double team Durant, they have nobody else on that team to do anything. Royce O'Neal. Royce O'Neal is the next closest fantasy provider on that team, and he's not a scorer. I do like Royce O'Neal, but like we're talking about scoring. Who's gonna help KD score? Yuta Watanabe. Listen, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Drew Holiday's in play. Terry Rozier's been questionable for like 5 weeks. If he plays, I don't need him. If you want to play him, have at it. Chris Paul is in play. Kate Cunningham, 7,700. Um, Good matchup. Tough matchup is what I meant to say first. Tough matchup. Um, he's still in play. He does a little bit of everything. You know that. Anthony Simons, 7,700. If there's no Simons, there's going to be tons of value on Portland. Pay attention. Van Vliet. If there's no Van Vliet, you know what to do. You go to Trent. You go to OG. You go to Siakam. You go to Boucher. It trickles down to all those guys, and you could go to what's the other one? What's the last one? Barnes. You know what I meant. Tyler Hero is in play. He's priced correctly for his role with no Butler. Have at it. Scotty Barnes, one of 4 or 5 guys that all does the same things. A little bit pricey for me. The ceiling is capped. Um, Siakam has separated himself from the group. He's the fantasy leader on that team. Everybody else are just secondary pieces. So I love OG because of his stocks. I love OG because of the rebounds and the steals and the blocks. I play OG every chance I get. But I don't see Barnes, and usually OG is cheaper than Barnes. A lot of people are high on Barnes. Good for them. Congratulations. Not me. Garland is a little bit underpriced. If he plays, he's in play. D'Angelo Russell's in play. Brunson's in play. Poole. Poole had a down game, so I'd say he's in play because people like to game watch or game log watch and then not play them when they have a bad game. Poole's in play, but it's hard to play Poole when you have Maxey right under him for the same price with no James Harden, and Maxey isn't scoring dependent. He's going to be the leader out there. We know Doc Rivers wants him to be the leader, be aggressive, and he's a good 3-point shooter. He could give you 8, 9, 10 threes in the game if you want. So Tyrese Maxey for president, he's absolutely in play. Dennis Smith Jr. Dennis Smith Jr. is he becomes irrelevant if Rozier's in. So you could pay attention to that. Kyle Lowry, his price is coming up a little bit, but he's been playing well. He's been playing well. Got to give him that credit. Westbrook, you could lock in Westbrook for 18 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Whatever fantasy points that equates to, that's what you're getting. If you think $6,300 is worth that, play him. If you don't. Uh, $6,300. You need about 68. You need about 38 fantasy points to be happy with Westbrook. Um, with the way the slates are going to break down later on with all these injuries, $6,300 and getting 35 fantasy points from Westbrook ain't going to cut it. Clarkson, you need him to get hot. Trey Jones. I knew the Spurs were going to fall apart without Keldon Johnson. I told you guys. I mean, it was easy to see. I'm not any like Nostradamus or anything. It's very easy to see that if Keldon Johnson wasn't going to be there, that team was going to fade away. So, and that's exactly what happened. Um, I don't need Marcus Smart, not with Tatum and Brown playing the way they are. Conley, he's starting to slow down on the shot attempts. If I'm not mistaken, let's double check. Um, Game log 3, okay, 6, 11, 6, 11, 7, 9, and 8. So he never was really taking that many shots, but The fantasy points. Listen, he hasn't even hit 30 for the year. 29. Wait, has he? Yeah, he had 2 games where he hit 30, and then the rest of it was 29, 29, 26, 26, 29, 25. And those games where he hit 30 were the first 2 games of this season, so he's probably already slowing down. Um, Josh Richardson, 5,600. You know, he could give you blocking steals too. That's his upside, but I don't need it. We're not going to need him. Tyus Jones, we're not going to need. Reggie Jackson is a corpse. Monte Morris, we don't need. Listen, these guys are okay plays, but I promise you there'll be better plays in 15 hours. Promise you. Um, no one stands out right now. Maybe Shaden Sharp if there's no Anthony Simons. DeAnthony Melton would okay. DeAnthony Melton definitely stands out with no Harden, and his price will. Listen, if you're gonna play DeAnthony Melton, you play him now because by the end of the weekend, he'll be a $5,500 player, and if he starts, he'll be a 6K player. I promise you. Sexton's okay. Beverly, we don't need. No Derek White. Gabe Vincent is in play. If they're okay, Gabe Vincent is in play. Check. Make sure you pay attention to starting lineup. Another thing too, because we even though we haven't gotten there yet, Bam is questionable. If there's no Bam, Miami's gonna have a lot of value. Just pay attention. Terrence Mann. We know how I feel about Terrence Mann. I will never play him. Um, Dragic. If Kobe White doesn't play, you could go right back to Dragic. He had 2 good games in a row, being priced as cheap as he is. I don't see that happening 3 times in a row. Um, Let me just show you what I'm talking about. I'm trying to speed through this because we got 12 games. Uh, so we had 3,300, 24 fantasy points, 3,400, 25 fantasy points. That's amazing. If you're going to get $3,600 and get this again, 24, 25 fantasy points, you lock them in. You lock them in. All right, we got Dragic. I don't really think we need to be going anywhere under here for now. We don't need to go that low. Not right now. Shooting guard. A lot of these guys have dual position eligibility. We know that. Paul George has been lackluster. He had like 1 good game. The Clippers on a whole, like the Clippers on the court are awful as far as fantasy production. Last 5 games, 34, 21, 23. Then he had a 75 and then a 41. At $9,500, $9,800, what he was priced at last game, $4,100 means 41 fantasy points mean that you lose. So if you're gonna be paying these prices for Paul George, you need to know that you're gonna be able to rely on him, depend on him. You know what I'm saying? We need consistency out of Paul George, and he hasn't shown us that. So you know, listen, he's not in my player pool on DraftKings. No way I pay $9,500 for him. If you want to play him, have at it. Enjoy it. You you need a lot. You need him to go crazy, and he hasn't been showing us that he's willing to do that. Um, please don't be mad at me. I'm just a messenger. I'm just here letting you know so you don't spend $9,500 on Paul George and your night ends early. We don't want that. Jalen Brown's in play. If Brandon Ingram comes back, $8,200, I still believe you could fire him up. Anthony Edwards, questionable. Jesus Christ. Listen, if Gobert's, you know what? These guys might be sick. Why is everybody questionable? See, he's sick. So he's sick. I think everybody has COVID again. That's what's going on. He's sick. Gobert is sick. That means that and Carl Anthony Towns is not listed as questionable. So you know what to do if Anthony Edwards and Gobert can't play or don't play. And if they're sick, they shouldn't play. Desmond Bain is in play. Is Simon sick too, or did he get hurt? No, inflammation of his left foot. Okay, he shouldn't play. All right. So okay, we got Bane in play. Levine 7,300. I'm looking for a shootout between Chicago and Brooklyn. If you think there's going to be a shootout, play Levine. Vassell is back. Okay, we got Vassell back. They might beat the Clippers straight up. If Keldon Johnson is healthy, they're going to beat. I like the Spurs starting lineup better than the Clippers starting lineup, and I mean that with my whole heart. Levert's in play. No, what am I saying? Levert's in play if Garland and or Mitchell is out. Kelly Oubre is just there. He's scoring dependent. Buddy Hield is in play. Once again, you're looking for a tight game, close game. Gary Trent is in play. Rates go up if there's no Van Vliet. Matherin's always in play. You never know when he's going to come off the bench and just light your ass up. No Dinwiddie. No Jaden Ivey for me. 58. His price is coming down. Let his price come down a little bit more. Then you could fire up Jaden Ivey. Cunningham's usage is just off the charts. Dylan Brooks is in play. Klay Thompson looks good at 5,700. He's still getting a lot of shots, and that's all that matters. Royce O'Neal becomes the second best player on the Nets. Can you believe Royce O'Neal being the second best player on the team for that game? That's what we've come down to. Wow. Ayo DeSumno, if you're playing 15 lineups, you can play him. Seth Curry, what is he fighting now? What's going on with him? His ankle is still hurting him, so I'm not playing a guy with a messed up ankle. You know that. Norman Powell, he's another bum. I'll be honest with you. Jalen Noel, if Anthony Edwards is out, his rates go up. If Ingram is in, Rams rates Ram becomes non-existent. Will Barton, $4,500. He's going to be better value, but he's in my player pool because everyone's in my player pool against Brooklyn. Uh, Joe Harris, he hasn't shown me that he has an upside, so I don't need him right now, especially with Melton right under him. Melton is the same price as him with no Harden, so you do the math. Sexton is a okay play. His minutes are going up. Luke Kennard, I like him, but I think the Clippers. No, I don't need him. I'm not gonna need him on this slate. Hardaway, Concher, I don't need. Beasley, I don't need. Grayson Allen, 4,100. If you want to take a shot, take a shot. Duarte, I know we had a big game. If you want to take a shot, take a shot. I seen someone playing Fournier in one of my contests, and I couldn't figure out why. Now I kind of see it, but he's not getting any shots in New York. Like, it's hard to get shots in New York for everyone. 19 minutes, 1 for 6, 2 rebounds, 6 fantasy points. The game before that, 28 minutes, 9 shots, 3 rebounds. Listen, if you're getting 9 shots a game, it's going to be hard for you to pay off your ticket. You know what I'm saying? I like guys that play a lot of minutes and take a lot of shots. Uh, okay, what we have down here? These guys are not. These guys we don't need to look at right now. Let's go to small forward. All right, Durant's in play, 10-3. He's got to put on a Herculean effort just to beat the Washington, the Wizards, just to beat the Wizards on a Friday afternoon. It is what it is. Play him 10-3, a little bit too cheap. He should put up 50 real life points. He should put up 75 fantasy points. He should be highly owned, but he's only 10-3 on DraftKings, so you could get to him. Tatum's in play, looking for a shootout, like I said. DeRozan, if you want to play a guy from Boston and DeRozan, bring it back with DeRozan, you can. Uh, Wait on news for Edwards. Like I said earlier, Keldon Johnson's in play against the Clippers. Marketing is in play. He had a down game, so I'll go right back to him. Um, Josh Hart's in play. No RJ Barrett at $6,400. It'll be very hard for him to pay that off. Miles Bridges. Mikal Bridges is in play. OG looks good at 6K. Trey Murphy is okay, but if Brandon Ingram is back, you know what to do. Tobias Harris looks amazing at $5,800. Play Tobias Harris. Lonnie Walker at his price is fine in the starting unit with LeBron and AD. Caleb Martin, listen, Kyle Lowry's playing too good. Tyler Hero's usage is too high. If there's no Bam, I consider Caleb Martin. Herb Jones, we don't need. It's Herbert, right? Herbert. Herbert Jones, we don't need. Jalen, I always get it wrong. Jalen, I got it right today. Jalen is $4,500 last man in type guy. He's all right. Jaden, same thing. If Gobert and Edwards is out, then Jaden from Minnesota, Jaden McDaniels is in play. Winslow's in play. I think Troy Brown at 4K is in play, but either one, play one of him and Lonnie Walker because one of them will go off, not both at the same time, unless you're just getting a crazy game. I don't really need anybody else from there, down there right now. Let's go to power forward. The fuck is wrong with Giannis now? Wow. All right, left knee soreness. I'm pretty sure he's gonna play. If Giannis doesn't play, that'll be major. You fire a Brook Lopez, you fire a Bobby Portis. You know the deal. LeBron James. All right, we know he was already sick. 10-7. I don't think I needed a sick LeBron James. Nobody needs a sick LeBron James on the slate like today. This says his foot, but we knew he had a flu or something. So I don't need to play. I don't need to pay him. I need him healthy to be paying 10-7. AD in his back. AD's in play. Tatum's in play. Carl Anthony Towns, if there's no Gobert, looks good. Zion is in play. Golden State can't really do nothing with bigs. Even though Williamson is not a big, he plays big. So you know what I mean. Randall's an okay play. His price came down a little bit. I prefer Kellen Johnson. Kuzma's an okay play. Porzingis has been playing better though. Do we see Porzingis or is Porzingis center only? Wow. All right, whatever. Uh, the Christian Wood the Christian Wood honeymoon for me is over. He needs to start. Not paying $6,800 for some fool off the bench. They can miss me with that. You feel me? Uh, Jeremy Grant's okay. Hasn't been spectacular, but he's okay. Mobley with the big guys. When I say big guys, one of the two best players on their team out. If he gets one of uh Mitchell or Garland out, then Mobley's rates go up. But he should still have his way with Detroit. Like, who's gonna stop him? Isaiah Stewart? I don't think so. All right, we spoke about Portis. Bogdanovich is an okay play because he takes a lot of threes. PJ Washington has been playing better. Draymond Green is just there. Let's see what he did today. No, I think he played well today. Let me double check. Orlando, 26 fantasy points, 4 for 5, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. That's what he is. Look, 22, 37, 26, 23, 26. Draymond Green is not going to do anything till they get to the playoffs. He's not even really worth rostering when you have Tobias Harris at the same price with no Harden. You know what shots Tobias Harris is going to should get? Isaiah Stewart's in play. Cam Johnson is finally woken up. Chandler Smith is an okay play. Vanderbilt's an okay play, rebound dependent. Olynyk is an okay play if he can keep his hands to himself. Marcus Morris has probably been the best Clipper so far. Al Horford is washed. Larry Nance has been playing okay, but you never know who's going to get the minutes between him and what's his name, Valanciunas. Max Strus laid an egg last game. Hopefully he could bounce back, but he's scoring dependent. He's not really scoring dependent, but you need him to hit his shots. So I'm on the fence with him, but he's 5,200, so I don't have no use for him. Isaiah Jackson, we don't have no use for him right now. Miles Turner is playing so far that I know of, and Kevin Love, last man in type deal. Boucher 4,300, but he had a good last game, so you may not want to chase that. Like I said, Winslow's okay. Patrick Williams at 4K. I prefer him at 35, but hey, yesterday's price isn't today's price. And let's go to center. Uh, okay. We're at the home stretch. All right, we got Embiid at 10-2. He's not in shape. He hasn't been right. Even when he was putting up numbers, I was looking at this fool like, yo, he ain't 100%. Something's off with him. 36, 60, last 5 games, 36, 60, 36, 67, 42, 41, and 39. Listen, the 67 is a Joel Embiid number. The rest of it isn't. If he's not going to be giving us 60 plus fantasy points, we don't need to be rostering him. But you might as well go to Pascal Siakam. Siakam's in play. If no Van Fleet, his rates go up. You know that. Vooch is 8K. We're not going to need him on this slate, but he's an okay play. Gobert, if he's out, you fire up. Carl Anthony Towns. Bam Adebayo, if he's out, you fire up Dwayne Dedmon. They have no bigs. Literally, Jimmy Butler becomes a power forward, and then you can play Jimmy Butler. Porzingis 7,600 has been playing better. Nurkic with no Lillard is in play. Valanciunas will crush Golden State in the paint. We know that. Ayton, if he's out, you fire up Bismack Biyombo or Landale, whichever one you prefer. Hurdle is in play because now he has his starters back and now he can do his thing. Jared Allen is always in play. He'll dominate Detroit. Zubac has been playing fantastically this season. Don't know if it's a word, but we just made it a word. Fantastically. A player that has been fantastic all season long. Claxton, I don't know what Claxton's going to do. It's going to be him, Durant, and Royce O'Neal on the floor. I don't know what they're going to do, but we're going to have to wait and see. Miles Turner, 5,700. He's a little cheap for his ceiling. I don't even know how you avoid him. His block upside is, you know, his block upside is a thing. Brookie Wookie, Brook Lopez, no Giannis. You fire him up like I said. Bismack Biyombo was $5,500. I don't know if you put a gun to my head if I'll pay $5,500 for Bismack Biyombo. Good luck with that. Larry Nance, okay play. Steven Adams against Charlotte, okay play. Mitchell Robinson, 5K. You prefer there to be no Joel Embiid because if Joel Embiid is there, then Mitchell Robinson will probably have 4 fouls in 4 minutes. You know the deal. Mason Plumlee is always in play. And I think that about sums up my player pool. Hartenstein, $4,200. Like, if there's no value, but there will be value, I can't see all these questionable guys playing. You see what I'm saying? So that's that. So let's see what we could do. There's a couple guys that were too cheap. First of all, hold on. I want to get Tobias Harris out the way. Tobias Harris is too cheap. $5,800, no Harden. Maxi, I think, was too cheap too. Is it Maxi 65? Maxi's too cheap, $6,500. Let's start with that. Now, I think there was one more person that's underpriced for me, but we'll run into them. All right, Booker's okay. I like Halliburton, definitely in my player pool. Tyler Hero's too cheap. Trey Jones. Okay, let's go to shooting guard. I should have just put them in the lineup. My bad. Jaylen Brown is too cheap. Anthony Edwards, Bane, Hero, Levert, Oubre, Clay. Clay is too cheap, but I'm not going to jump on him right now. Small forward. Lonnie Walker, Mathurin, OG is 6K. Levert. Okay, let's just get the rest of the guys and go. Okay, let's get a center. Let's get a center. All right, what I said if there's no Bam, you play Dwayne Dedman. He's like minimum. Don't forget that. Valanciunas, Pirtle, Zubac. Zubac is a little bit too cheap for his ceiling this season. Oh, Miles Turner. So we're gonna start. We're gonna put Miles Turner in right now until we get more value. What about $5,700 Miles Turner? I'll take any day of the week. Let's get two more players. Let's get out of here. I'm tempted to go back to Clay. I'm tempted. He's gonna get 30 plus minutes and all the shots in the world. Clay is Royce O'Neal. I see I know what I did. Um can he be small forward? Yes. So Durant, and then it's either Royce O'Neal or Klay Thompson. Royce O'Neal, because he now becomes the second best player on the team, or Klay Thompson because all he needs to do is hit his shots and he'll destroy this price tag. Decisions. Losing Kyrie opens up a lot of usage. That's what we need to understand. 34 minutes, 8 of 12, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. I'm going Royce O'Neal. It's gonna be the Royce O'Neal and Kevin Durant show tomorrow. So I want to be part of that. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go Maxey. I'm gonna go Royce O'Neal. I'm gonna go Kevin Durant. I'm gonna go Tobias, and then I'm gonna go Miles Turner. Turner, Harris, Maxey are underpriced. Royce O'Neal is underpriced for the role he's gonna be. You know, the role that he got pushed into, and the same thing with Durant. 10-3 for Durant with no Irving, all that usage. He's gonna have to play 40 plus minutes just to beat Washington. Same thing with Royce O'Neal. If they start maybe Yuta Watanabe, you could play him too. But Brooklyn's in trouble. I tell you that. We're gonna go to FanDuel. For anyone that's new, first time watching this video, just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, thumbs up. That helps me. Um, and if there's anyone that's having trouble cashing on this on this NBA season, or with this NBA season, or through this NBA season, and you'd like my full up to date optimal lineup sent to you before lock, or you need me to build you out lineups, I can absolutely do that. You can check out my Patreon, which is linked in the description, or you could DM me on Twitter and we'll work something out. All right, FanDuel. I got my FanDuel plays out already, but I do know that. Hold on. I do know that every time I come to FanDuel, it's a little bit delayed. So let me see. All right, so if you guys can see it, great. If you can't see it, we're on FanDuel now, and my 5 FanDuel picks is going to be Luke at point guard, 11,800. I'm going Tyler Hero, 7K flat, a little bit too cheap at shooting guard. I'm going Royce O'Neal, $5,200. We just spoke about Royce O'Neal on DraftKings, so you know the deal. Kevin Durant, we just spoke about him on DraftKings, almost the same price. You know the deal. And then I'm doing Dwayne Dedman just in case at a buy. If Bam is out, you're playing Dwayne Dedman for $3,700 because Miami has no other bigs because Yurt 7 is also hurt. So, I mean, they could always go small, but who you putting at center? Jimmy Butler. So right now, I like Dedman. If there's no Bam, nothing's set in stone. So don't go crazy. Nothing's set in stone. And like I said, pay attention to news. Pay attention to starting lineups. Pay attention after lock. For the news that comes out after lock, because once lock, like lock for me is 7:01 East Coast time. 7:01. I'm sorry, 7 o'clock. And you know, at 7:01, news starts trickling out. What I might do is I might be very light for the first few games, and then I'll backload my lineups with players from the later games, so that if I need to pivot, it'll be easy for me. That's probably exactly what I'm gonna do, unless there's some crazy value in the early games, like Miami. Miami is gonna be the thorn in your side because they're gonna have some value. You know what I'm saying? But listen, I've been talking your ear off long enough. Once again, thanks for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm gonna go on and get out of here, and I will talk to you guys later. Ciao.